Hello and welcome back to the Level 3 course. The previous lessons we were just looking at there was involving capo playing, and we looked at how much easier it can make guitar playing, in that you don't have to do too many bar chords. If you're playing in a different key, you can just simply place a capo at any fret you like, and then you're shifting the whole range of the guitar to that fret, and you can just play your open chords and play in any key. This lesson is going to really start pushing your playing so that you can tackle almost any song or tab that you might read out there that involves rhythm guitar playing. We're going to be looking at bar chords, and in particular looking at moving the shape up and down the fretboard to create the different chords. So I'm going to teach you two different bar chord shapes. One's going to be a major chord, which you already know, and one's going to be a minor chord, which you already know. And we're going to make them movable. And you'll notice how this will link in to the F major chord that you've already covered a couple of parts ago on the Level 3 course. Again, if you're watching this on a video channel or something, head over to rmember.com, where the entire course is laid out nice and neatly for you so that you can cover each lesson one after another. So, let's have a look then at this first chord. The first shape I'm going to be showing you is a major chord shape, and it's an E major, which you should already know. Now, the first stage in making a bar chord is to make it movable. That's the first idea that we need to get in your head. The next stage will be to know what chord you're actually playing, which involves a little bit of theory. For now though, let's just get this as a movable shape. So the first chord, E major. You've already played an F major chord. If you line up on your F major chord, you should notice that it looks very similar to the E major chord. The only difference is that everything has moved up by one fret. If we were to play the E major chord using the same fingering as an F major chord, we would just lift off the first finger and slide down the rest of the fingers, and you've got an E major chord. The only thing we've done is we've had to, because we've shifted these fingers up, we've also got to shift the open strings up one fret, and that's why we have a bar chord to play an F. So this bar chord, this major bar chord, can be moved up and down the fretboard. And each time you move it up or down, you have a new major chord. So this is why when I say once you get F major, you actually unlock a huge amount of the fretboard. You unlock 12 different major chords just by learning one. You don't have to learn lots of different chords. With a little bit of theory, which I'm going to show you in a second, you can actually learn many more than 12 chords with just this one shape. The next chord shape that we're going to look at is a minor chord, E minor. The same theory applies then. If we shift this up one fret, and then we place the first finger on, you're going to have quite a stretch. So you're going to need to shift the fingers around. You're going to need to place the third finger on the third fret, the fourth finger on the third fret on the D string, the other one's on the A string, and then the first finger is going to bar across just like the F major. Now you should be able to see how this is identical to the E minor. The only difference is, yeah, the fingering's changed because we've had to, but then also that the first finger is acting like where the open strings were. If we were to slide everything down one fret, release the first finger now because the open strings are taking care of it, E minor. Move up one fret, we've got F minor. So that shape can then be moved around the fretboard. And that unlocks many different minor chords. The only way now to work out is, well, the only thing that we need to do now is work out what chords we're generating when we're moving up and down the fretboard. So if you remember the power chord lesson, which is on the Level 2 course, towards the end, we did a musical theory on the musical alphabet, and we covered all that. So if you're not sure on the musical alphabet, check out series 2, I think it's part 10 or part 9, maybe part 11, I'm not too sure. And then you'll be able to find out what I'm talking about in this music lesson. For those of you who've been following me from the start, you've got a really good grounding now to then work out what these chords are. First thing you've got to do is work out the root note of the chords. The root note is just the note that the chord is based or built around. So if we're in E major, it's going to be an E. It's usually the first note of the name of the chord. So the bottom note here, you know your open strings on a major chord here is an E. So we know that on the 6th string, that is our root note. When we play 1 fret up, you go 1 up in the musical alphabet. So instead of E, remember there's no sharp or flat between E and F, and you're on an F chord. If you then move it up 1 fret, remember the sharps and flats, again, follow the power chord lesson where we cover this, then we're on to an F sharp major chord. You slide it up another fret, we're on to a G major chord. You slide it up another fret, we're on a G sharp major, then an A major, A sharp, B, remember there's no sharp between B and C, so you go to C, C sharp, D, D sharp, and E. You've unlocked 12 different chords on the fretboard with just that one shape. The same theory applies to the E minor shape. You've got your E minor, then it's going to go F minor, F sharp minor, G minor, G sharp minor, E, A minor, A sharp minor, B minor, C minor, and so on, so on, so on. You've unlocked 12 different ways that we can play a minor chord. Now this is really, really useful for when you have chord progressions that don't involve open position chords and you want to break away from the mold of just playing with a capo. And I would encourage that you do, because a capo is only going to hold you back for when you want to play bar chords. You're going to have to try and get used to playing, and I know it is very difficult when you're first starting, but like I say, once you get that F major chord, you will unlock all of these chords that I'm talking about. So really spend some time cracking on that F major chord to get what I'm talking about. So we've got 2 different shapes there that we can use for a bar chord. In the next lesson we're going to look at a song that involves all bar chords, and it uses just those 2 shapes. It uses major shapes and it uses minor shapes, and they're all 6-string bar chords, and it's a great song to play. It's a great song to be able to play to people because it's got a great vibe about it. So I hope you check out that next part where we're going to be piecing together the theory that we've learned here. Remember that you've got 2 shapes, one for major, one for minor, and you should now know how to work out what chord it is that you're playing. So if I was to ask you 5th fret, major chord, what chord am I playing? Post a comment if you know the answer, or head over to the forum if you don't and seek some help, because it's pretty important that you understand this concept. And then final thing, if I were to say 3rd fret, minor chord, what chord am I playing? You need to be able to tell me what it is. Again, post a comment, or if you don't, head to the forum on rexpearson.com. Alright, next lesson, it's not really a lesson, it's a song lesson, part of the Rex Pearson songbook. I hope you enjoy it, it's a great song, and I'll see you in that next part where we're going to learn, I won't spoil it, I'll let you find out, we're going to learn a new song. Catch you in the next part.